WBC Guerrilla Championship belt, WBC President Mauricio Suleiman. The officials for this contest, supervisor at ringside from Ireland, Kevin Noon. From Ireland, the timekeeper, Alexander McKenzie. The three judges scoring, from Mexico, Omar Mintun. From the United States, Mike Ross. And from Belgium, Daniel Vandeville. And the referee in charge of the action from Panama, Hector Afu. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 8 rounds of boxing. This is in the cruiserweight division. You know the belt that's on the line. So, from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white and weighing in officially at 184.4 pounds. His professional record is a perfect one. 8 fights, 8 victories, 4 big wins by knockout. From out of Manchester, England, from a family of boxing royalty, he is Tommy and his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing dark charcoal and weighing in officially at 183.6 pounds. Like his opponent, a perfect professional record. 6 fights, 6 victories, 4 big wins by knockout, recognized worldwide with tens of millions of media follows, living, training, fighting out of Dorado, Puerto Rico by way of Cleveland, Ohio, USA. He is the problem child, Jake Paul.
You hear what he just said? No, you don't back up.
I gave instructions in the dressing rooms. I want clean fight, okay? Touch glove, good glove. All right.
The moment has arrived. The world is watching. Jake Paul, Tommy Fury, both men undefeated. Daraiya, Saudi Arabia. The talk is over. Finally, they collide. We are underway. Ray Flores, Showtime Sean Porter, Coach Larry Wade.
My apologies. I think we just got the game plan from J. Leon Love, the coach of Jake Paul. He said, hey, you don't take no steps back. You don't back up. Obviously, right there being rushed, he did smart, you know, to take steps back right there. But we'll see what happens. Tommy, on the other hand, he started as I expected him to, a little fast, coming right after Jake. This is what I expected from Tommy.
Tommy Fury, led by his father, John Fury. Also his older brother in attendance, Tyson Fury. Jake Paul, his brother, Logan Paul. Social media superstar, WWE superstar, also in attendance, supporting his younger brother, Jake Paul. Time being called by referee in charge, Hector Afu.
Well, the ref's going to warn them about wrestling, but I'll tell you what Jake is doing. Jake is trying to settle down Tommy. So if I grab you a couple of times, all that high energy that you came to the ring with, you don't have a chance to use it, you settle down.
Both men have predicted knockout wins under 4 rounds. There's an overhand right. That overhand right has put away the likes of Tyron Woodley, also put Anderson Silva on the canvas. And Jake Paul's recent victory back in October in Arizona.
Listen, Tommy has doubled and tripled up on the jab. And then finally, Jake came over the top with overhand right. If you're Tommy, keep jabbing. Don't stop jabbing because you see a weapon coming after you. You stabilize that weapon by continuing to use your jab.
The corner of Tommy Fury telling him to circle to his right. Again, this is an 18-foot ring. It's what Tommy Fury wanted. This is a small ring. Jake Paul said no problem, meaning it's not hard to find the other man. Overhead right over the top, connecting for Paul.
I get this is gonna be another overhand rights because we got a lot of that from Badu Jack, and we see Jake Paul. We know him for being really heavy-handed with that right hand, and he's starting to release it with authority.
Jake Paul has that right hand. He's ready to unload it. Tommy Fury said, I'm a way better boxer. There's no way this guy can beat me. Tommy Fury has proclaimed the public has only seen 10% of what I'm capable of inside the ring.
If you look at this fight right now, you have to ask yourself, who is quote-unquote the YouTuber and who is quote-unquote the boxer? Because if you look at it, Jake Paul is showing that he is definitely a seasoned boxer. He just has to stay consistent in what he's doing and put pressure on him in the same way.
BJ Flores, J. Leon Love in the corner of Jake Paul. There's a left hook for Jake Paul. Final moments of the first round. Jake Paul using his jab as we near a right hand to the body by Paul. Back to Tommy Fury. Towards the end of the first round, the action heating up here in Saudi Arabia.
He's got nothing. You feel good? He's took the best punch off him. Nothing. What you need is slow your job down. Let's wait on the sides. And what you need to do is hands high, step in with power, step in with a jab. Step in with that, it's fine. When you're inside,
Nice finish right here. This is how you close a round. Tommy Fury heard the clap. He ran right after Jake Paul. If anything, you steal the round there. One big punch landed in that round from Jake Paul was overhand right, but then here's the finish right here. This is what you do. You give the judges the last impression. Now they remember what you did. They remember you backing Tommy up. Excuse me, you backing Jake up. They remember you landing shots. They remember you wanting to win that round.
Well, during that sequence, Tommy Fury landed a left hook and then continued to pursue Jake Paul, and then he landed a right hook right on the jaw of Paul. Round number 2 begins between Jake Paul and Tommy Fury. Of Fury's, all of his knockouts have come in 2 rounds or under.
Tommy received an overhand right in that first round, and he ate it really well. What he can't afford to do is keep that jab hand down after releasing it, because we know the punch right there. We know that an overhand right is coming from Jake Paul, especially in a moment like that right there.
Tommy Fury said while Jake Paul was on the Disney Channel, he was in camp learning as an amateur, getting his lumps in, sparring with heavyweights that his brother Tyson Fury was sparring with in preparation for his professional fights. Jumping right hand by Tommy Fury.
Good work right there from Tommy Fury. And just a great counter jab right there from Jake Paul. But listen to me right now. Tommy's doing a really good job of controlling this 8-foot ring. What he can't afford to do is continue to move to the left into the direction of an overhand right.
Jake Paul very relaxed indeed. He eats a stiff jab from Tommy Fury. Jake Paul actually told Tommy Fury, bet your purse. If you beat me, I will double your purse. If you lose to me, you get nothing. Still no word if that's official or not. There's a right hand down the center by Tommy Fury. Glancing shot.
And I want to say this again, just so that it's clear. During this fight, just because a fighter is moving does not mean that that fighter is afraid to fight, and it doesn't mean that that fighter is running. What Tommy is doing is he's staying out of the reach of Jake Paul, and he's setting up his jab, and he's working off of that. That's what he's supposed to do in this fight. Outbox the YouTuber.
There's a left hook blocked by Jake Paul under a minute to go in the second round. Jake Paul has sparred the likes of Andrew Tabiti overhand right, also Jean Pascal has been in and sparring all over the United States. Overhand right by Paul. Now they tie up. Hector Alfu will separate them.
That overhand right is starting to find a home. Jake needed some kind of rhythm to get started, and now he's setting it up with jab, feints, and overhand right. That'll get him back into this fight.
Both men seem to be relaxed. A stiff jab by Tommy Fury.
We call it fast chess. What does that mean? Tommy, you got hit with 2 overhand rights in a row. Calculate what happened and don't let it happen again.
took a glancing shot for Jake Paul. 2 rounds in the books.
First round in the books.
There, baby. Good. Good run. We got that. Good.
Okay. Left hander.
Keep both hands up. Keep that left hand up on the right hand, and you're not gonna think of that jab. You're leaning over a little bit. That's why he's touching you. Still let him circle. Give me one. Okay. You gotta cross. You gotta put the ring off by stepping to the right and coming down the middle.
Right here, the nice jab right there, Tommy Fury. His jab is going to land first because he's longer. It's up to him to use that jab and not allow Jake Paul to get confident like that right there and stay in there, eat the jab so that I can deliver overhand right. That jab has got to come fast, it's got to come strong, and right here, Tommy has to be elusive after throwing a jab. That way he doesn't get hit with an overhand right.
That right hand that Jake Paul landed on has put away the likes of Ben Askren, Tyron Woodley, put Anderson Silva on the canvas in the final round, but Tommy Fury ate it well. And the question was, which man will be able to withstand the other's power, and which man will be able to inflict punishment on the other? So far, Tommy Fury has been able to eat the overhand right of Jake Paul, but now Jake Paul with the stick jab to back up Tommy Fury momentarily.
Absolutely. So when we talk about those overhand rights that have put other fighters out, those other fighters were older. Those other fighters were a little over the hill and had some mileage. Tommy ain't got none of that. So you got a young, fresh body in front of you. It's going to take more than one overhand right to get Tommy out of here. Now, here's the thing. Sorry, but here's the thing. Tommy switched his game plan now. Why are you standing in front of Jake? Continue to move and do what was working for you in the first and second round.
And jab from the problem child. Now it is Jake Paul who is focusing more on the boxing instead of looking for that home run shot. That overhand right.
Yeah, that's a heck of a jab that Jake is throwing. He's got the right hand in front of his face so that he doesn't get hit. He's dipping down a little low, and he's bringing the jab hand up, and it's landing clean.
And let's also remember that Jake Paul and his brother Logan Paul were stand-up wrestlers in high school in the state of Ohio, which is not easy to do and compete at a high level in the state of Ohio from a wrestling standpoint.
Guess what? You'll say, oh, that was wrestling. This is boxing. Guess what? He's an athlete. Guess what? He's a competitor. He's a real boxer. We got 2 real boxers in the ring today. Just one came from YouTube. That's all. One came from TV.
It's the way social media is. Both men certainly polarizing figures in their own rights.
It looks like now Tommy Fury is trying to slow down a little bit, but he hit him definitely with a serious jab.
Coming up on a minute to go in this third round.
Yeah, the first 2 rounds, Tommy was punch and move. Now he's punching and he's standing still, and that's a problem. Nice hook right there from Jake Paul. Counter hook.
Tommy Fury's 8 opponents, 2 of them have had winning records. So Jake Paul said, you want to look at my record, who I fought? Well, who you fought? Only 2 of your opponents have had winning records.
Yeah. I don't think the record really means much. It matters what you do against those guys.
Styles make fights, an overhand right on the temple. Connected for Jake Paul. Time being called by Hector Abdul.
Yeah, Jake right there, he just tried to use his head on Tommy. Just kind of rubbed his head over Tommy's head. It's a veteran move right there.
Well, when you work with the likes of BJ Flores, also Jay Leon Love, and the entire team that Jake Paul has with him, you pick up a few things or two.
Absolutely. Jake Paul's corner has all of the experience that he lacks. And that's why we've seen Jake get as good as he's got to this point. We've seen him improve. It's because of his corner. Really good, strong round right there for Jake Paul.
Logan Paul, this is a stage that you've been on before in Saudi Arabia. You're the first Paul to make a huge splash here. What was the last thing that you said to Jake before he came out tonight?
I said, Jake, I love you. I'm not going to give you a big speech. I know you got this, but either come back victorious or come back on your shield. I love you, bro.
I love you too, man. How do you feel like he's doing so far in the fight?
He's doing great. I think the first 2 rounds were close. He definitely got that last round. Tommy, if you can hear me, you a bitch, bro, and you gassing out. You a bitch. The whole Fury family a bitch. You just find it over, boy.
Hey, water. I get the
pick it back up and get back on his toes and use the jab from the outside.
Round 4, this one's scheduled for 8. Logan Paul with some strong words for the Fury family.
I looked over at them and didn't seem to shake them. No one seemed to acknowledge what Logan Paul said. Good exchange right there from Tommy.
A combination by Fury.
You gotta be able to read your opponent. If you know what you're looking at, you can see the punches coming from Jake. You can tell when it's gonna be a jab or a lead hook or an overhand right.
So you're saying Jake is telegraphing his shots?
Absolutely. Honestly, from what I can see and what I'm reading, I know when the overhand is coming, I know when the hook is coming, and I know when the jab is coming. Except for Tommy did not set his feet. A lot like what Biden did last fight. Tommy, don't set your feet. Keep moving and don't allow Jake to get close to you.
As Jake Paul went forward, he aimed a couple of right hands. Tommy Fury with 4 right hands over the course of a 15-second period. Both men predicted finishes before the end of the 4th round. We are now at the midway point of the 4th.
This is good boxing. That's the experience right here from Tommy. This is probably a Tommy Fury that nobody expected right now. What about you, Wade?
You know what, as I'm looking at him, the number one thing I'm looking at, he's waiting for him so he can catch him with the counter. And so you expect that out of someone who's a more polished boxer. So he's definitely showing us something different.
A minute to go in this 4th round. Tommy Fury looks to be very relaxed inside the ring against Jake Paul. Paul's athleticism has yet to really frustrate Fury over that time period.
I think it's the opposite. I think that I really wouldn't say Jake is frustrated. It's a good combination right there from Jake. Tommy's comfortable in there right now. Tommy's comfortable in there right now. He's in his rhythm. He knows what he's looking at. He's trying to time Jake. And he turned the tables. Again, the movement is what's giving Jake trouble. Don't stand in front of Jake and allow him to punch. Keep moving. It's okay.
Final moments of the 4th round between Jake Paul and Tommy Fury. There's a right hand that hit the back of the head after a Fu gonna call time.
What you do now, you got him pushing that roof.
See right here, this is a nice 1-2 right down the middle. That's good boxing. That's experience. And he saw that Jake Paul was moving back, and so Tommy did what he was supposed to do. He kept pursuing. Right here is the firefight. They're a little back and forth. Another close round. A round that I felt Tommy had the better end of. Nice hook right there from Jake Paul. Nice clean hook right there. And then look at how he set it up. He went to the body and he came back up to the top.
Throw your hard shot. All right?
Take a look at punches. Tommy Fury has landed 44, thrown 157. Jake has thrown nearly less than half of that. 82, only landed 27. So Tommy Fury is clearly being the busier of the two.
You got to be busy. When you're in the ring with someone who doesn't have experience, you throw a whole lot at them, you know? And when you have opportunities, you throw the whole kitchen sink at them. Right here, this is where Tommy wins. Leading with the jab, backing Jake up, and not allowing Jake to set up that right hand and come off of his back foot with a big punch.
So much for that prediction from both men, stating the fight will not enter the 5th. We are now into that round.
Hey, let's keep it real. Both these guys know what they got to do. And this is a 50-50 fight. When you have a 50-50 fight, no, it doesn't go. It goes more than 5 rounds, more than 4 rounds. because it's 50-50. Both of these guys are trying to set things up and land the big shot.
I don't disagree with what you're saying, but we need to see a separation. And that's what we may be seeing now. We need to see a separation between these guys. What's going to separate them from being 50-50? That's where it starts right now.
Jake Paul threw an overhand right. Tommy was out of the way, and then he clocked Jake Paul with the right of his own.
This is a really good boxing match. I mean, they're trading jabs, they're trading big shots. I like the pace of Tommy.
Hector Aful has deducted 1 point from Jake Paul.
From both of them. He get it from both of them. No?
So it's only to Jake Paul. To my knowledge, he just deducted a point from Jake Paul, not Tommy Fury, because he would have to go to the judges with both men. He only did it with Jake Paul. Left hook, that's set. That was Tommy Fury. Fury might be hurt.
The double hand right. The double hand right still finds a home. Even late, they made no adjustments to that.
But Jake Paul still can't afford to get overzealous. These moments where, you know, especially you have points taken, you land a big shot, still take your time because Tommy Fury can eat your shots and he can deliver some of his own.
Under a minute left here in the fifth. The deduction of a point, what does that do to the mental psyche of Jake Paul?
It's not fair, in my personal opinion. I don't believe it's fair. I don't think either fighter is fighting dirty. But what that does to Jake Paul is it makes him feel like he's got to rush. If anything, you can close in and make this a 9-9 round now.
I agree with you, Sean. I don't think it's fair either. Both guys were throwing punches at that time. Big right hand should give that point away. It's a close fight.
That's a big right hand, right on the button.
That'll end the fifth round. 3 more rounds to go. Jake Paul deducted a point during that 5th round. Very curious to see how that is significant if it goes to the cards.
Let's see what we get here. It's a big hook right there from Jake Paul. And it's because Tommy has his hands down. What I really want to see, I don't know if they'll give it to us, is where the point was deducted. I just want to say this again. There was no dirty, it's not dirty fighting. Both these guys are running their hands. They're doing what they have to do. At the end of the day, you cannot afford for the ref to be the reason this fight goes one way or the other.
There is a very concerned big brother, Tyson Fury, the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. Very much supporting his younger brother, Tommy Fury. Wherever you're joining us around the world, we thank you so much for enjoying your Sunday with Jake Paul and Tommy Fury, both men undefeated. On to the 6th we go. There's a left hook connecting for Jake Paul.
Nice 1-2-1 from Jake Paul, and then Tommy comes right back. This is a 50-50 fight. This is what this is going to be, back and forth, beginning to end.
Both men have connected with some power shots. There's an uppercut by Tommy Fury. The Fury corner making a lot of noise as Tommy Fury having more success in this 6th round.
And that right there is old school. Every time you touch your opponent, if your corner is making noise, that's allowing you, that's only making your opponent know that he got hit. And that's exactly what they need to do right now. Make noise. Now who's having the best of the moment right now?
A right uppercut moments ago that found its destination for Tommy Fury.
I like the jab of Tommy. I like the movement of Tommy. What I don't like is that the jab hand doesn't come back and he stands right in line after he throws that jab. Even though Jake has landed some overhand rights, they haven't put Tommy down. They haven't had significance, haven't had a significant effect on you. Eventually it'll catch up to you.
There is a small abrasion. It's not bleeding underneath the left eye of Jake Paul. It is not an open wound, but it is an abrasion, a bruise of sorts underneath the left eye of Jake Paul. Compliments of those right hands from Tommy Fury.
Oh, I like what Jake did. He just did a double jab. It was slow. It was slow, but I like to see Jake try to use his jab more. Jab with the jabber. Give him something else to look at. Now, guess what? You need experience to make some adjustments. The corner has to make some adjustments.
I would like to see him not put so much weight on that front foot. A lot of times he overexerts himself and he overextends himself and he gets caught because he has too much weight on that front foot.
No offense, but they got the wrong reps for this fight. You have to get a rep that understands what he's dealing with. You're dealing with two fighters who are inexperienced and anything can happen. You're dealing with that, let it happen. Look, here we go.
Now 1 point being deducted to Tommy Fury, so therefore it is now a wash when it comes to the point deduction from Jake Paul.
Yeah, this ref is really in the way. I wouldn't say this ref is trying to be a superhero MVP of this thing, but he's just in the way. He doesn't understand what he's dealing with.
Final moments of the 6th round.
Oh, you know what? And also, I'm sorry, but to defend the ref, he is doing what he's supposed to do. But in this particular situation, there's some things you just have to be a little more lenient with.
A little
because
more
of
forgiving. Yeah,
exactly,
right. A little
because
bit
of
more
what you're dealing with. Yeah.
Final 10 seconds of this 6th round. Tommy Fury, a point deduction.
Body shot. Good. Yeah.
We're on our way to the 7th.
Good work.
Two rounds, we'll put it on him. Have a real fast. He's gone. He's gone.
Here's a look at some of the action from
Water.
the 6th. Right uppercut by Tommy Fury.
I'm supposed to be talking over this, aren't I? Nice uppercut. I saw that when I watched the fight. Tommy Fury, he knocked the guy out with the uppercut. I said, wow, that's a punch right there. If it lands, might do something for him. Both these guys, man, this is action-packed. It's back and forth. It's everything that we wanted it to be. It's not the big bang that they said it would be, at least not yet. But it's a good boxing fight.
Sean, you have it deadlocked at 56.
Here he is.
Punches landed through 6. Jake Paul 40 of 122. Fury 70 of 230. They both start off strong here in the 7th round.
If you're going to stand in front of your opponent, you have to have a second move. After you punch, there has to be either defense or more punches, or you have to be able to move out of the way. That is the mistake that Tommy is making. He punches and he stands right there in front of you. Right there, he's able to move. That's what it has to be. And for Jake, I want to see you use more jabs. Where's your combination? Where's head, body, head? Where's everything I've seen you do in the past? You got to pull all that out now.
It's a close fight between these two as Jake Paul continues to pursue Tommy Fury. But back comes Fury right hand of the body. Back comes Jake Paul. A lot of wrestling. Let's just hope that we don't get another point deduction either way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jake Paul seemed to came out with a little bit more energy this round. I think he understands the urgency of trying to move forward on this card.
This is what we call dirty boxing, but it is allowed. They are punching, grabbing, they are hitting on the ring. Overhand right by Jake Paul. It's what happens when you have guys that styles make fights, and you're going to get a lot of clutching and grabbing with these two.
Absolutely, yeah, a lot of punching in between the punches. Somebody throws, the next person throws, next thing you know, there's a deadlock and there's a hold. Bigger hands right there from Tommy Fury.
A series of 3 right hands that found their mark for the 23-year-old out of Manchester, England. Coming up on a minute to go in this 7th round. We believe it's a close fight here ringside.
I believe it's a really good boxing match. Work the ticket.
These guys are definitely giving us everything we said we wanted. They're fighting, they're boxing, they're entertaining us. This is exactly what we wanted. They're giving the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia everything they wanted here.
And guess what? Jake's landing big shots. You don't see Tommy go down. Tommy's young. Jake's been in the ring with older guys. You see Tommy land the punches. Jake's not going down. Guess what? Tommy's been in the ring with guys that can stand up to him. This is a good, competitive 50-50 fight. I told you guys that. I've been saying it all week. And it's about who gets who first.
Under 30 seconds remaining in the 7th round. Also to note, if Jake Paul wins, there is no rematch clause for Tommy Fury. If Fury wins, Jake Paul does have a rematch clause.
That makes sense. That makes sense. What that means is, essentially, we will be seeing this fight again should Tommy Fury pull this out.
If you look, you can see there's some blood coming down Tommy Fury's eye right now. He got hit on the left eye. That's an overhand right, landing over and over again.
One more round to go. There is a cut outside of the left eye of Tommy Fury. Logan Paul and the entire Paul family. Tense moments. Logan Paul hasn't sat down. Oh, that's a bad cut. Some blood streaming outside the left eye of Tommy Fury. And here's how the cut happened.
See if we get it right here. Yeah, right there. One guy coming down, the other guy coming up. Again, nothing on purpose, nothing malicious about anything about this right here. It's just one guy trying to go down the hole, the other guy coming up with some shots. It's boxing, it happens. Guess what, Tommy Fury? Fight through it.
This is when you get the true experience. Everything that he didn't learn up to this point, he's going to have to master his way through this now.
From the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, this is the main event and final round of the fight. Final round.
8th and final round between Jake Paul and Tommy Fury. We have this a close fight. Who will prevail here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia? Fury starting strong.
I thought we had some really good rounds.
Hector Abdul has ruled it a knockdown. That could be significant. He did it against Anderson Silva, and he's done it here against Tommy Fury.
Punch landed. Even though you slipped, the punch still landed. You were light on your feet, you stepped wrong, you fell down. That punch has significant effect right there, and we seen it.
Late fight theatrics by the problem child, Jake Paul. If there was any doubt if Jake Paul would be able to hold his own against a boxer of his level, he has answered that with resounding fashion.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a 10-8 round at this point. I think this is going to play into the benefit. That knockdown is going to really benefit Jake Paul. Now he's got to stay on his feet and not take anything clean.
Jake Paul has stated, I rise to the occasion. I thrive in the big moments. And in this close fight, when he needed something significant, he got a knockdown against Tommy Fury in the 8th and final round.
And you can guarantee, as he's fighting, he understands how important this is. He's going to put everything on his line. He just kept out of front to get touched at this point.
But back comes Tommy Fury.
And guess what? If you're a judge and you're doing the right thing, you close in. And Tommy, if Tommy closes the shot, this becomes a 9-8 round? Yeah?
Under a minute to go here in the 8th and final round. Tense moments between two unbeaten Jake Paul and Tommy Fury. This place is electric here in the Riyadh of Saudi Arabia.
If you wanted to get your tickets worth tonight,
Yeah.
you definitely got the cost of admission taken care of right now. These guys are putting on a show for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And for the world, for that matter.
I really hate the role that the ref has played in this fight. Thought he should have been a little more lenient with some things. Nonetheless, this has been a really good boxing match. And we're almost here at the finish. Let's let it breathe.
What a fight that we've seen. Styles make fights. It is clear that Jake Paul and Tommy Fury were meant for each other. We go towards the final
before a fight, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. You may know your opponent's game plan, you may know what they might want to do. But when the fists start flying and it gets hot in there, this was truly a 50-50 match. We saw it round after round. Forget the truth, okay? The truth is, we had two fighters in the ring tonight. The truth is, we saw two fighters lay it all in the ring, and they both did what they had to do to win this fight.
So we're looking at the knockdown. That was a knockdown. Let's take a look at it again.
Let's have a look here.
He did not step on his foot. The jab knocked him down.
Absolutely. Was definitely a punch. We see the way the foot comes from underneath him right there. We do see the foot slip. Nonetheless, you got to be strong in a moment like that.
And look at Logan Paul and Team Paul erupt.
Like I said at the very beginning, it's not what people think. It's going to be a much closer fight than they think.
And this was Tommy coming back right here. And I really like the fact that he didn't give up. After that knockdown, he didn't just let that round go away. He said, I got to stay in here, and I got to win this fight. Nice, like, back and forth. A lot of clean shots landed by both guys. You can see that both guys are courageous. Both guys have chins. Both guys are in there for it all. Very impressed with both gentlemen.
So now the fate of the winner lies in three judges as we take a look on what was a very entertaining 8-round main event here this evening. Tyson Fury there, urging on his brother, just like Logan Paul was urging on his brother. Your three judges in this fight: from Belgium, Daniel Vanderlei; from Mexico, Omar Mitoun; from the U.S., Mike Ross. They have the distinction of claiming who is going to win this fight. In my estimation, I think the knockdown for Jake Paul in the 8th round solidified the victory for him.
Yep. I thought Errol Spence Jr., everybody said he slipped. I knew I didn't slip, but it ended up being the separation in that match. This knockdown right here, I believe, was the separation in this fight.
Two questions that were answered. One, Jake Paul can box with a boxer of his caliber. Two, Tommy Fury performed at this level and embraced the moment. With that, we send it up to our ring announcer, Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 8 rounds, we go to the scorecards. Mike Ross scores the contest 75-74. He has it for Paul. Omar Mitoun scores it 76-73 for Fury. Daniel Vanderlei scores it 76-73 to the winner by split decision, Tommy Fury.
Tommy Fury has Jake Paul, the first defeat of his career. Tommy Fury. Fury remains undefeated as he carries the Fury family name with the victory as he edges Jake Paul here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Very impressive fight. Valiant effort by both guys. Nothing was left in the corners. Nothing was left in the gym. They laid it all out right here.
Punch that numbers before we get to your Coach Wade. Fury 88 of 302 for a 29% connect percentage. Paul 49 of 157 for a 31% connect percentage. An emotional Tommy Fury who missed spending time with his new daughter Bambi. He was there for her birth, and then went right back into camp. Coach Wade, do you agree with the decision?
You know what? I think the round was a little bit closer, but I would not have been mad with a draw, and I definitely accept the win of Tommy Fury winning. But I wonder now, does Jake Paul execute his rematch clause?
Well, I think it was a close fight. I believe that, yes, it was a close fight. Why not do it again?
Yeah, no, you do this one again. After you do something like this,
long way. You started 3 years ago. Yeah. I started number 6. Yeah. I've got nothing but love and respect for you. Thank you. It was a great build-up, great fight. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Both men, a sign of respect between the two. Tommy Fury told Jake Paul nothing but love, nothing but respect. What a moment in the career of 23-year-old Tommy Fury. There he is with his brother as well. But Sean, to get to your point, in my opinion, as I saw, I thought the knockdown, because I thought it was a close fight, but you know what? The fact is Tommy Fury could have, it would have been a wider victory had Tommy Fury not gotten knocked down in that 8th round.
Right, you're completely right. You know, at the end of the day, again, I think that the ref played a small role in this decision. I think that right now Jake Paul is a little confused right now. I don't think he really knows exactly what happened and how it happened. Nonetheless, I do believe we will get this again.
And look at the emotion from Tommy Fury. And right now we will send it up to Radio Raheem with the victorious Tommy Fury.
Radio Raheem here with Tommy Fury. You have every right to shed these tears of victory, of glory, of joy. You've done something for your family. You've done something for your name. You are more than a contender. You are a warrior. Talk to me about the feelings coming from your heart at this very moment.
For the past 2.5 years, this is all that's consumed my life. Broke rib, denied access, and everybody thought I was running scared. Tonight, I made my own legacy. I am Tommy Fury. I want to dedicate this fight to my new baby girl, Bambi at home. My missus, I love you. I can't wait to see you. This fight was for you. This belt's for you, Bambi. I love you.
This was no easy fight. It took everything in you, all your heart, grit, and soul, even to get up off the canvas. How much was inside you when you stood up off the canvas and finished this fight?
All the way through these 2.5 years, I had a dream, I had a vision I would win this fight, and no one believed me. Now I can stand up and everybody can take note. It's my first main event, 23 years old, I had the world on me, I had pressure on my shoulders, and I came through.
I know your goal is to be a world champion, but this belt around your shoulders right now must be awfully sweet.
This to me is a world title fight. I trained so hard for this. This was my destiny. This was my fate. I want to thank Saudi Arabia for having me. I love you all. Thank you all for turning out. We did it. We did it.
Now we know that Jake Paul has a rematch clause. He may want to do this again. If so, will we see you again in this ring for another war of this magnitude?
100%. This is my first main event. I'm only going to go stronger. I'm only going to go bigger, and I'm only going to go better. There's a lot of nerves coming into here. I override that. If you want a rematch, bring it on.
Thank you for showing up and giving us all you had. Congratulations on an incredible win. Radio Raheem with Tommy Fury.
So Tommy Fury victorious, very emotional. And you know what? This is his moment. He was always been in the shadows of his brother Tyson Fury, but now he can stand alone and say, I was the first guy to beat Jake Paul.
As an athlete who had a brother that was competing as well, I can tell you that Tommy probably didn't feel like he was in Tyson's shadow so much as he was supporting him, and now he feels the same support.
Let me first say that making this fight was one of the most difficult things you had to do, but fighting the way you did, that makes you a fucking true fighter, a true champion in your heart and soul. We saw you give everything tonight. You are a boxer, you are a man. Talk to me about this fight and the way it went tonight.
No, all respect to Tommy, he won, you know, and don't judge me by my wins, judge me by my losses. I'll come back. I think we deserve that rematch. It was a great fight, a close fight. I don't know if I agree with the judges. I got a 10-8 round twice. So it is what it is, but this is the boxing. And look, I've already won in life, man. I've already won. I've won in every single way. I have an amazing family, amazing friends, amazing work ethic. I've made it farther than I ever thought that I would, and beyond. So this is definitely a humbling experience. I'll take it on the chin, get back in the gym, and we can run it back because I think we put on an amazing show for the fans tonight.
Let's talk a little bit about technical boxing. You got 2 knockdowns, you stuck behind the jab, you were in there for every minute of every round. How much of your training and strategy was successful tonight?
Honestly, I felt flat. I got sick really bad twice in this camp, injured my arm, so it wasn't my best performance, but I lost. I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying it wasn't my best performance. I felt a little flat, and like I said, we're gonna come back and get that W. Don't judge me by my wins, judge me by my losses. I'm gonna come back stronger.
In the great tradition of boxing, what makes a real fighter is someone who not only comes up off the canvas, but comes back after a loss, comes back better, comes back stronger, faces that opponent and defeats that opponent. You have a rematch clause. Are you ready to be a real boxer? Call that rematch out and do this one more time.
100%, let's run it back.
And last,
And thank you to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the Ministry of Sport, Prince Khalid. Inshallah, I'll come back and get this W. Shukran for having me. All love.
thank you to the Fury family, thank you to the Paul family, thank you, Pamela. Radio Raheem with Jake Paul.
So Jake Paul claiming, yes, I do want to run it back, and you know what, I agree with him in the sense that I was very entertained. I thought it was a high-level fight for where both guys are in their careers, and I absolutely want to see a rematch because stylistically, it was fun to watch, and it was very competitive on both ends.
Very, very funny to say, and I know the boxing world is probably going to hate me for saying this, but that was high-level boxing for this level. High level for this level, both guys, man.